everyone to the League of Cinephiles. Welcome to Guy and Helmer, Unfiltered but Kind of Filtered. With me to my right is obviously Guy and Noel. Guy, how are you doing today?
I got nothing. How you doing?
Good. But
by the looks of it,
jokes
I am not.
aside,
Guy
Dave-
gained like 100 pounds and moved to Jersey. And yeah, what's up?
beard, hockey jersey, new lifestyle. No, but in all seriousness, guys, Guy's at a convention. I don't want to get it wrong. I think it's a Jewish convention. That's what he told me. But hope you're having fun, Guy. But you know, we don't miss you because obviously Dave is taking your place. It's called Dave and Helmer Unfiltered but Kind of Filtered now. So just letting you know. But anyways, jokes aside, we also down below joining us is of course you know him, you love him, Luk Reviews. Luk, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good. Glad to finally be on a main show, not
Made
without a certain topic. It's just, I think it's more relaxing, more fun.
You made it to the big time. You made it to the
Let's
big
get
leagues.
into it.
Division One.
Oh, yeah.
Division One Unfiltered. But anyways, guys, again, hope you all in the audience have had a great week. I know, again, I was flustered before the show began. Apologies for the late start. A lot of stuff going on, and I know Dave, Luke probably had big weeks as well. So again, thank you guys for being here, and thank you all for watching again. But guys, before we get started on all the movie news, we're going to start off with what we watched this week, obviously aside from like the big stuff we're going to be talking about, big topic-wise. Dave, we'll go to you first. What have you been watching this week?
So I spent Tuesday night in Gotham City, but unfortunately I can't talk about my travels to Gotham City for another week. So
in other words, for those who don't understand,
I saw the Batman this week, but I can't really say anything at all for another week. So I am under a heavy embargo. So yeah, I'll just say I will be watching it at least 3 more times opening weekend. So that's all I can pretty much say for now. And then any other highlights that I saw, I saw the Bill Cosby documentary that premiered at Sundance.
That's great.
Yeah, I missed it. I missed it during my coverage. It's called We Need to Talk About Cosby. Highly recommended. Pretty much it deconstructs him the way OJ Made in America deconstructs OJ. Kind of does a highlight of the positives that he brought to others in his career, and then slowly dissects everything that he did. And then I saw The Cursed, which is not for every.
That one.
It's not for every. It's a very cerebral horror film. It's very much in. It's a very much in the line of like, you know, the atmospheric horror. It's good. I liked it. Can't say it's my favorite film of the year so far though.
Okay. Great. And then Luke, what have you been watching this week?
Well, after the Mr. Doctor 2 trailer came out and we heard the Mr. Professor X speak, I was inspired to actually watch every Marvel movie like I was planning to. So I started doing that slowly. Started with Howard the Duck.
Yes.
It's not as bad as people sound.
Yes.
At the beginning, I was like,
MCU.
No, every Marvel. Like I watched MCU last year. Every Marvels, because he might show up. It's not that bad. Towards the beginning, I was like, oh, is this like an allegory for the American dream? Like Howard's gonna make it big, and then it kind of falls apart.
I gotta ask, what do you think of the sex scene between Leah Thompson and the Duck?
Well, I don't really know what to make of it. It felt right in its place in that movie.
Yeah.
If I saw it anywhere else, I'd be like, huh? But you know, it's Howard the Duck, and it worked. Then I rewatched Goblet of Fire, and I've finally realized its brilliance, especially after reading the book. So it's right up there with Azkaban now for me. It didn't used to be that way, but now it is. I know Alex shares it.
It's my number. I
don't think Azkaban's that good. I'm gonna be honest, guy. I think it's good. But Goblet of Fire is like on another level for me.
It's my number 3 in the franchise.
I think that's a whole conversation for another day.
Yes, it is.
I mean, as long as you're a fan of it, you know, who cares about the rankings? Yeah. But
and then a few Best Picture nominees. Enjoyed King Richard. Did not enjoy Licorice Pizza. I'm sorry to all the pizza fans out there.
Yeah, I love pizza. Dave, you were on the Luke train for a bit there with the Harry Potter talk.
I love pizza. especially the ones that are licorice. It's good stuff.
And
I also, I'm sorry to mention, I also saw The Tinder Swindler, which I highly recommend if you guys have a chance and
haven't seen the poster on Letterboxd.
It is something. It is something. You guys would definitely laugh at that.
And I want to congratulate you guys on the Critics Circle, which sounds very exciting.
Thank you.
I'm ready to see
Shout
your
out.
lists and tell you all how wrong you are.
Shout out to Hunter for getting everything started.
Yeah. I guess we forgot to mention that at the beginning of the show. But yes, if you all didn't know already, the Critics Circle, which is kind of branched off from the League of Cinephiles, basically a Critics Circle with all kind of members of the league. And we're gonna Dave, I'm explaining it badly. You kind of explained because you were kind of one of the founding members as well.
Yeah, so pretty much this is going to be something new, something fresh. A lot of Instagram pages don't have the opportunity to join critics groups.
Exactly.
This will allow the opportunity to those pages that are taking film criticism seriously to have an outlet and a circle to join. We're going to have our first awards coming up soon. So not only did we just launch yesterday, we already have our year in review coming up with some of the year's best and worst. So very, very happy to be a part of this. And I'm sure, did I miss anything?
No, that was perfect. I just, couldn't explain it myself because, again, you've been a critic for so long, so it only makes sense that, you explained it to people. But again, make sure to follow us on Instagram. We just launched yesterday, so exciting stuff. So make sure to follow us there. But anyways, Luke, anything else you watched this week that you wanted to mention?
Just some Disney movies through my Disney watch through when I'm just like feeling a bit put on a Disney movie. Those are always fun.
Awesome. So what did I watch this week? So I actually, in preparation for the Batman, I'm not watching all the Batman movies because I have a life. But I'm joking.
That's what I'm doing.
I already did that.
I've already seen them so many times, and I'm not a big rewatch guy, so I started watching Batman the Animated Series, at least the episodes that I haven't seen, because a lot of the episodes I have seen, especially from a young age, so a lot of the episodes I'm watching that I actually haven't seen before, and it's great. It was a big inspiration to the Batman, like the noir aspects, and the visuals themselves are just so iconic, and it brought me back watching the episodes again. So I watched that. I saw I Confess, which is a Hitchcock movie that I have not seen. It's rare that I see watch Alfred Hitchcock's film that I haven't seen before, but this was a good one. I suggested it. It was on TCM. I saw Blade for the first time. Luke, you saw Blade for the first time, right?
I wasn't a fan.
Me either. Really. I wasn't a fan either.
It's not my it's not my favorite Marvel property. Don't get me wrong. For someone that was around in 1998, 99 when it came out, it was, at least it was something. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I'm ready for the Mahersh. That's all I can say.
Yeah, I agree with Luke. And Blade 2 is supposed to be better, so I'll definitely.
It is.
Okay, good.
And some other stuff I watched. I saw Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Soul for the first time. Really, for the first time, because last time I saw it, I was way too young to see it. I don't remember it. I thought it was terrible. I thought it was really bad.
Interesting, because I'm one of the few, because that RT score is very high for that movie. I saw it in 2008, and I recently saw it like about a year ago during this. Actually, about a half a year ago during the summer. I gotta say, the ending sucks. I hate all the alien stuff. I mean, it pretty much for the first first two acts, it kind of does all the beats of an Indiana Jones movie.
I'm gonna be
honest, that's why I don't
like,
think it's terrible. I think it's whatever.
I hated it from the beginning. I just didn't feel like an Indiana Jones movie to me. From the first scene, it looks like it's on a soundstage. It doesn't look right.
Yes, I see what you mean.
Right. Like I mentioned this in my review, everything was too bright, but everything on in view, like all the objects and people were too dark, and it was a weird mismatch of the two, and it didn't feel like when you see Raiders of the Lost Ark, you see the wide shot, you see the grand scale of everything, and with this one I didn't feel that, and the CGI was just like this was 2008. Bad. So I guess maybe they were taking advantage of a lot of stuff that was provided to them at the time. Maybe 3D. I don't know if that was a factor, but it was really bad. Like when you see Shia LaBeouf, fighting with a sword and he's standing on two separate cars. I'm like, come on. That's even for me. That's
I think
too much.
I'll say I'll agree with you there. I think for a franchise that didn't lean on CGI as much. For them to just lean on it as much as they did with Crystal Skull is very glaring that you can tell what's real and what's not.
Exactly. But yes, I watched that, and then I saw The Pawnbroker, which I mentioned yesterday on my account. Sidney Lumet film. It is basically about a Holocaust survivor who becomes a pawnbroker, and it's kind of about how his PTSD and how he's kind of turned into a bad person almost from his experiences. Very complex character, very great movie. I suggest it. Rod Steiger gives one of the best performances of all time in it, and it's one of the saddest movies I've ever seen. Holocaust movies as a whole tend to be very sad for obvious reasons, but this one more than a lot of movies, I'd say. So check that out. But anyways, we spent a lot of time on that. Now we're going to go to what? We're going to go to the recent TV releases that released over the... Actually, no. You want to go TV or movie? Let's go movie first.
Let's go movies.
Movie first. The new movie releases that we had over this week. First, we're going to go over Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which don't worry, Luke, we'll get to Uncharted. Don't worry.
I haven't seen that either. Don't worry.
That either. So we're
I can
talking
just
about
sit
your
here.
excitement for it. But Dave, you got the chance to see Texas Chainsaw Massacre one day early.
Yeah, so I'll give you a quick this behind the curtain scene story. I was supposed to get this a week and a half ago. It was changed. The embargo also changed. It kept changing, and then on Monday I was told I was getting it Wednesday with the embargo lifting on Friday morning. So pretty much I kind of had a feeling what I was going into.
The embargo is lifting. The Friday, was that the day the movie released?
The release day. No, the day of release. It wasn't good. That's like it seems to be a topic of conversation a lot over the last couple of days on social media, being why is this the hill certain people are standing on? It beats me. It's not good. I think for someone that is more on the positive side of Halloween 2018, and this movie essentially taking the same tropes of being a direct sequel to the original, bringing back the original final girl, it doesn't even warrant it. The screenplay does a terrible job of explaining why Leatherface is in that house for 50 years. Was he there for 50 years? What has he be doing for 50 years? Why Sally has been hanging around for 50 years? Why didn't she choose to go after him earlier in life? What's going on? Like, it doesn't make a lot of the movie doesn't make any sense. The characters are very unlikable, and it's usually I'm okay with that. Sometimes I watch horror movies for the body count, especially these types of slasher films, and just give me one person I can like. Elsie Fisher's completely wasted. She is supposed to be the character we like in the movie, and she is basically given nothing. The kills are actually pretty solid. I'll say that. I will say, we're speaking to Aniolo, shout out to Aniolo, and we were talking about how the first kill was, I think he mentioned that was his favorite, and I understand because that was the only kill in the entire movie. They had some tension behind it because you're literally wondering where he's coming from to kill this person. The bus kill though is still my favorite because it's just like if it's screw it, just screw it. He just goes ape shit on here. Is this spoiler territory or can I don't want?
I don't think anyone
Okay,
cares.
I'm not
sure.
Yeah, so cool. So, spoiler alert. You can whatever. He kills Sally with the chainsaw, and the way that scene is shot, it's very much he splits that chainsaw in between her stomach, but she has enough life left in her to last about another 10 minutes to
Not just that, I don't think did she die? I don't think it's
I
clear
would
that she dies
hope
at the
so.
end. Like at the end they don't show her like
I mean, we're
dead.
not gonna get a sequel, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
it's terrible.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. I saw it as well. I agree with basically everything you said. So this film, the thing is, with sequels like this, and with Halloween 2018, I think they did a good job of warranting its existence. Basically, making everyone, people were going in skeptical of, hey, why do we need a sequel to the original Halloween? I think it did a good job of saying, hey, this is why we exist. This is what the ideas that we had and what we wanted to do with this franchise. This movie, I didn't think it really needed to exist. And I don't think it warranted its existence. Sorry, tongue twister at all. Really, Sally is completely wasted, completely, and I mean that again. You mentioned it. She did not have to be in the movie. If you take her out of the movie, it's the same movie, with the exception of like one time where she saves someone's ass. it's like she has maybe 2 lines in the movie. She speaks to the characters again maybe one time.
Yep.
She you can make that you can have you can have the sheriff do the same. You can make that the sheriff. You can make that there's no connection. There's no thematic connection between Sally's kind of like her adventures in the original movie and these characters in the new movie. Especially because they don't really talk about her. There's like one line where Elsie Fisher is like, "Hey, who is that woman?" And the guy's like, "Oh, that's Sally," or whatever.
I did want to add, I think for a character that's so beloved like Leatherface, this is probably the worst franchise out of any horror franchise. And Hellraiser is up there too.
I've only seen the first one and this one, so I can't speak to the sequels. But I saw this online, but I feel like maybe Dave, you can correct me if I'm wrong because you've seen more of them. Leatherface seemed more like Michael Myers than Leatherface. Would you?
Yeah, I can see that. Because there's even in Texas Chainsaw 2, it's more of a horror comedy in the likes of like Evil Dead 2. But even there, he is not this invincible monster. He's actually more, you can actually feel bad for him in the second one as opposed to like any of this. I've seen the closest thing I can say to Michael Myers he's been before this was the 2003 remake. But even there, it doesn't feel unwarranted because he does take his shots, and you do see him walking with a limp when he's getting beat up or any of those. And here he's just like this unstoppable force type of thing. So yeah, skip if you can. If you got 72 minutes before credits, I guess watch it.
Yeah, I'd agree too. You know, the kills are fine, and the bus scene is interesting. I will say the commentary was also really weird. It's just I mentioned this before, but it's like this is what happens when you watch too many Jordan Peele movies, and it's like, oh, we need to have social commentary in our horror. And there was like 3 themes in this movie, like everything from gun violence to like cancel culture and everything, and it just doesn't work.
The gun violence one was the most head scratching one because they never do anything to kind of
no, it's just like you said, it's like, okay, well, we can't find anything about this Elsie Fisher character that the audience is gonna like, so let's just make her a survivor of a school shooting to make the audience feel bad for her. It's like, and they mention it twice. It's like you can't do that. It doesn't really work. And there's also this weird. And I mentioned this. I hated all the characters. There's like at the start of the movie, they do that thing where like the city folk come to the country and they're so ignorant. When I mean ignorant, it's like they see a guy with the gun and they're like, oh, is he compensating for something? That's actually a line in the movie. That's actually a line. And I'm like, oh my god, this is so bad. This is so bad. And that guy was like my favorite character in the movie. And spoiler alert, he dies. He's like the only whatever. Yeah, whatever.
I did like it. I did like him too. I didn't think he would die so quickly either.
Yeah, me too. But anyways, those are our thoughts on Texas Chainsaw Massacre. We're gonna move on now to the big release of the week. Tom Holland's weekly release, or it seems like it. Uncharted has released. We have a lot of video game news actually to bring you guys today. A lot of Dave, what do you think of Uncharted?
Yeah, so I saw this on Monday night, and I was curious to how critics are going to respond to this after the premiere in the UK last week. I personally am a huge fan of the franchise, the video game franchise. I've been, kind of been playing them since the original entrant. So for me, it was a paint by numbers action film. I can't say that it's something that will change the game, the foundation of the video game adaptation genre. It's pretty much, it's one of the best, but that's not saying much. It's, there is a lot that the movie got wrong, but there's a lot that I did enjoy. Like I did enjoy Tom Holland as Nathan Drake. I did enjoy some of the stunts that, like, I guess the one of the ones in the museum that you guys saw in the trailer. I did enjoy that. Despite the ridiculousness and unbelievable aspect of the helicopters holding these giant ships, I actually did enjoy that sequence a lot. Small homages to the game I did quite enjoy, but Mark Wahlberg is awful. just like absolutely awful. It's Sully's one of the most likable characters in that video game franchise, and you kind of root for Nate and Sully to always stay together. I don't want this Sully anywhere near Nathan Drake if there's a sequel, which there will be a sequel because I just looked it up just so I could provide this. $139 million worldwide. So there's a sequel coming. It's gonna happen. I'm kind of happy because they do set up a sequel. But yeah, I wasn't looking for Citizen Kane or anything like that. So I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. It's nothing revolutionary, but I thought it was decent.
Yeah. I agree. And then right before that, again, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I guess I haven't plugged the channel yet, but subscribe if you haven't already. Do that, and then follow these two gentlemen on their accounts. Links for those who are down in the description below. But anyways, my thoughts on Uncharted. So I saw it yesterday night. I saw it in 4D because it's a movie where I'm like, I'm not gonna.
Are you
love it
watching the
anyways.
Batman in 4D?
I am not. Do not worry. I am not watching the Batman in 4D.
I think you should.
Yeah, no, it's like once you go to a 4D movie, you can't come back. It's an addiction at this point. And once I saw Moonfall in 4D, I'm like, hey, all these movies that I'm not excited for, let me just see them all in 4D.
Did the moon come at you?
The moon, it did actually. Pieces of the moon, it fell onto the audience. It was a great
theater
experience.
workers just came in and started throwing rocks at you.
I wish.
Realism, immersion.
But Uncharted, I thought it was okay. I thought that I'm gonna be honest. I kind of did like Mark Wahlberg.
Oh my god!
And I didn't expect to say that. I'm not gonna lie. But I will say the role is definitely. It should have been for someone older. The character is definitely someone. He's like, oh, my ankle hurts. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. And I'm like, okay, dude, you're too young. You're not even 50 yet. Like this role shouldn't be for a guy like this. And especially, I played the first Uncharted game. I haven't played the others. But yeah, these characters are so miscast. I actually thought Tom Holland was more miscast than Tom.
So
miscast
have you've only played the first one, right?
Yeah.
So in the third one, they have kind of a prequel sequence.
Okay.
With his brother. So that post-credit scene we got was kind of, if you've played the third game, you kind of had a feeling that was coming. So they did do a young version of Nathan before, so I was fine with that. I'm if you don't talk about Antonio Banderas, I sure will.
Dude, oh my god. Oh. Okay, well, let me just finish my Tom Holland thing. The first scene where they show Tom Holland, he's a bartender, and first of all, Tom Holland looks like he's 17. He should not be in a bartender role until he's maybe like 80, when he maybe looks like.
For anyone that's old,
so the first thing he does, like the woman's like, "Oh, can I have a vodka tonic?" And he's like shaking the thing and doing whatever. And I'm like, dude, you are. He's like, "Oh, vodka tonic," and he mentions all the drinks that he knows how to make. I'm like, oh my god, what is this? What is this? You are not a bartender. You look like you're 17. This is not right. This doesn't look right. This doesn't sound right. Like this role should not be for a guy like Tom Holland, and I'm sorry.
Have you or Luke ever seen Cocktails with Tom Cruise?
Yes, yeah. I loved it.
It's really one of my favorite guilty pleasures. I adore Cocktails. Watch Cocktails, Helmer. That's where Tom Holland was inspired to do this.
So did it remind you when you saw Tom Holland in that role? You're like, oh.
I wrote in my review. I literally wrote in my review. I'm like, Tom Holland channeled his inner Cocktails. It's good stuff,
oh my
man.
God. Just him saying the word vodka tonic. It didn't work. It didn't work for me. And yeah, Tom Holland and Chris Pratt, someone needs to like put them on hiatus for the next like 10 years because they're in too many movies nowadays. But anyways, yeah, you can mention Antonio Banderas, Dave. It seems like
how wasted was Antonio Banderas?
Yeah.
Listen, I saw the trailer and I'm like, yes, he's gonna be a villain. I just love Antonio Banderas in an action movie as a villain. Like, shout out to The Specialist with Sylvester Stallone from the early 90s. Really bad movie, but he's great as a villain. And then what we get is a guy that has a story built for him to give him motivation as a villain, to later we find out he is not the villain, which is probably the biggest sin of the movie was that.
I also say when you see him in the trailer, that's probably as much time as he gets in the movie. And those scenes that you see in the trailer are pretty much it for his character. You know, those are like all the scenes he has in the movie.
Such a waste.
Maybe he had like free time on his hand. I don't know. It's a paycheck. But again, yeah, I agree. It was a waste. I thought the pirate ship sequence, I agree with you. That was really good. And overall, I did find the movie fun. I think overall, I'd give it a positive review.
Same here.
Because I had enough fun with it. But again, there are a ton of problems. And this is a movie that definitely could have been better. And it's sad, unfortunately, that we're getting a sequel because I wish roles were just recast to different people. But in the post-credit scene, I did not like. And I saw it coming. The moment they announced, I saw it. It was so obvious in what they're doing. And
I will say there's one hope left. I think there's Uncharted was a hope that I had for many, many, many years that it was going to be the great video game. I think The Last of Us will probably
We're talking
be.
about that. We actually have a lot of video game stuff to talk about.
Okay, great. So I'll touch on that later.
Yeah.
I still think it's Sonic.
I do like
it just
Sonic.
knows what it is.
I
it
do
just
like
knows what it
Sonic
is.
3. Okay.
I
Sonic
do like
2, we don't know.
Sonic.
It'll be the end of a great trilogy. But anyways, we'll move on now. Again, tell us what you think of those latest movie releases if you got the chance to see them. I believe Texas Chainsaw Massacre, I didn't even know it was on Netflix. I'm going to be honest. I sat down to watch it. I'm like, I forgot what streaming service this is on. So I searched it up and it was like, oh, Netflix. Okay. But anyways, we're going to move on now to the finale of Peacemaker. So we got the finale, episode 8 of John Cena's Peacemaker. Luke, you did not get to see Texas Chainsaw Massacre. You did not get to see Uncharted, but what did you think of Peacemaker?
I enjoyed Peacemaker. I haven't been as overly high on the show as some people, but I have still very much enjoyed it. And this finale, it didn't go over the top. It wasn't like a big action all the way through, a la Disney Plus MCU. It was just a solid TV finale. Wrapped up everything nicely and sent some of Twitter into an absolute frenzy, which you just love to see every time it happens.
What else is new?
Dave?
Yeah, I'm with Luke. I think the biggest benefit, I'm higher than him on the whole series as a whole, but I will say what benefits the show so much is that there's been a level of consistency throughout. I don't think there's been a bad episode at all. I think every episode has been equally good, if not superior. I think John Cena is so good in this role. I mean, I've been a Cena. I'm a big wrestling fan, so I've known Cena since 2002. The guy has charisma for days, but I think him being in these comedy action roles are the perfect niche for him. A lot of in the episode, a lot of people were teased to die, and then they did not die, and I'm glad because I need this whole crew together next season. So I was it's funny. I was watching for my with my wife, and she was talking about Harcourt, and she was like, "Oh yeah, her and Cena are definitely gonna get together next season." And then that scene happens, and she's like, "Well, I guess not." So going to see that the ending concludes with everyone intact, I'm like, "All right, great, I'm good to go." And yeah, I did see on my Twitter as well. Oh my god, I cannot stand any Zack Snyder fan in this entire world. They are just
what are they saying about? Because I'm not on Twitter, so I don't.
So apparently, I don't know if you're seeing the same things, Luke. Apparently, there is a lot of backlash because the people that were grayed out per se was Batman. Oh, Batman wasn't even in the scene, but Superman and Wonder Woman being Superman, Zack Snyder's big creation, and you know how they are. And they're gonna win that popular vote Oscar, and it's gonna be so
right now. It's
Cinderella. It's gonna happen, man. Right, it's gonna. Everyone needs to just accept it. It's gonna be that movie. All they do on Twitter since that was announced is say that they voted 20 times a day.
Jesus.
So yeah, but yeah, overall I loved it. I thought it was very good.
Yeah, I agree. The scene at the end. Or I think we can spoil it. I mean, I'm sure.
I was trying not to, but yeah,
I think we can. But anyways, if you haven't seen Peacemaker, the Peacemaker finale, leave. Come back in like 2 minutes. But they showed the Justice League, and the great thing is they teased it throughout the series with all the Justice League references, and we finally got to see them. But not just that, we didn't just see them. Jason Momoa and Ezra Miller had a little exchange that was so. And again, they referenced it, the fish thing. They referenced it at the very beginning of the show. So just Jason Momoa seeing that was maybe my favorite Jason Momoa moment in all of movies. I guess all of history, I think. I don't know if you guys would agree with me.
Momoa doesn't have that many moments, so that is up there.
I got some Khal Drogo moments in
some. Yeah.
I will say John Cena's line to them was hilarious when he walked by them and telling them that they're late.
Yes, yeah. You're late, dickheads.
Yeah.
I agree. John Cena was built for this role, and I'm so happy for him. Again, as a wrestling fan, he's a great guy, and he's obviously really happy with the role. He's really, really happy. He loves the character. You see him going on Jimmy Kimmel wearing the costume. So it's great to see that. It'll be hard to see John Cena without seeing Peacemaker going forward, when he's in the next Fast and Furious movie as Jacob Toretto.
Oh man, he still has to do that. That's brutal.
It's
like
one of those things where it's like,
with the Momoa.
ugh. I have to. It's like going to a job interview when you already have a better job, and it's like, oh, I have to do this interview. But I already
Oh, and shout out to the show for making me really give a big shit about a
the cow.
CGI eagle, because I
Oh, I
adore
thought you
that
meant the
eagle.
cow.
I adore that
I
eagle
love
so
Eagle.
much. Like that scene when they
Dude.
hugged in the second to last episode
Aw.
almost made me tear up. I was like, oh
Yeah.
my god, yeah. So shout out to the James Gunn and company for that.
Yeah. I love the entire crew. This Adebayo had some great moments. Her
Mhm.
action scene was really cool. I love that they kind of saved it till the end of the series. Economos, that moment with him was really heartfelt. I really felt for him there, and the exchange he had with the butterfly and how the butterfly was like, humans can be so cruel. I thought it was a really, really impactful moment for me. And I love Vigilante. Vigilante, other than Peacemaker, is my favorite character in this
Of
show.
course, you
His
guys share the
comedy
same
is
glasses.
I know you LLC lore. But his comedy is the most random. I feel like it's the
Mhm.
most James Gunn just going the most like AWOL with that character. And it's the most James Gunn character I feel in the series. And I love him to death. And yeah, we got a bit of a tease for what next season is gonna bring. So Luke, where do you think we're gonna go with the season 2 of Peacemaker? Because we saw it got renewed.
I can't. I won't lie to you. I forgot what they teased, but they didn't really
Well,
tease
with the
that much.
Amanda Waller's thing at the end.
I
Yeah,
don't
that's
remember that either. To be honest,
that's where I am. I think Viola's going to become a regular, and I think there's going to be some tension, especially since the Suicide Squad is pretty much no more because they just got outed at the end of
Yeah.
the episode. So
I
I think
definitely want
that's
to
where we're
see
going.
more. I guess less CGI, more actual characters. Maybe we get kind of like actual villains, actual different random comic book characters. That maybe again like an anti-Suicide Squad, like a villain Suicide Squad, that type of thing. But anyways, I trust James Gunn, and I'm glad they're getting renewed for season 2. Do you guys think this is the best DC show?
I haven't seen that many.
I think
I gave up on Titans.
Yeah, I
after
gave up
one
on
season.
I gave up on Titans after 2 episodes. So I think I think so. It's the one that I'm going back to every week with
Got it.
enjoyment. Yeah.
And
The
how does
one
it
people
rank
are
among
talking about.
how would it rank among comic book TV shows?
Oh, that's a tough one. That's a
Like
long
you got
lineage
The
of TV
Boys,
shows.
Daredevil.
It's better
So-
than
Disney Plus
everything
stuff.
Marvel Disney Plus has put out. That's for sure.
Yeah, I do
Yeah,
like
I
it.
agree.
do like it more than all the Marvel shows. Since the streaming wars, I guess I'll say Daredevil would probably be still my favorite of the bunch, and then Peacemaker would probably be number 2.
Yeah.
But if we're going back to like before the streaming wars, then I'd have to think about it. But yeah, looking at Marvel
Smallville.
now, yeah. Oh, I love
Yeah.
Smallville. I'm a big Smallville fan.
Awesome. All right, so that's gonna do it now for our thoughts on the newest releases. Again, comment, go in the live chat, tell us what you thought of all the new releases. I'm curious to hear your thoughts, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. So we're gonna move on now to our big stories. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 big stories to talk about. A lot to talk about as we move to the first trailer for Baz Luhrmann's Elvis. So, Luke, what are your thoughts on the trailer? What are your thoughts? Were you intrigued about the movie before the trailer came out, or are you more kind of intrigued about the movie now that you've seen it?
I would say I'm cautiously optimistic. Is a phrase I like to use because one, it's Elvis. Who wouldn't want to see a movie about Elvis? Austin Butler, he looks really good in the role. Tom Hanks, I mean, he's there, I guess. Some consider me to be the villain of this story. I don't know what he's doing. The music biopic has really taken off in recent years.
Yeah.
But at least this is Baz Luhrmann, who has a bit of flair to him, and it won't be another Bohemian Rhapsody. On paper, it could be good, but on the trailer, it does feel a bit like, ooh.
It's a long trailer.
Is it actually? Yeah, it
minutes
is.
long. It gives away the movie, but anyways, Dave, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, so I saw the trailer about 2 weeks ago during a press conference, and we were supposed to ask. It's funny that you mentioned how long the trailer is because we were supposed to ask Baz questions, and Baz took so long talking that we never got to ask any questions. So to touch on the trailer, like I am exactly on the same area with Luke. I think the trailer leaves me cautiously optimistic, but it also reminds me that it is Baz Luhrmann, and I haven't liked the Baz Luhrmann movie in about 20 years. So that's kind of where my optimism is. All right, Austin Butler looks great. I don't know what Tom Hanks is doing. really don't. And I will say, surprising move having this movie released in June, because I think knowing how Bohemian Rhapsody succeeded with mediocre reviews, this would probably be a big box office success. And this could have done something if the way Bohemian Rhapsody did. But yeah, I like gauging casual audiences, and my mother-in-law is a huge Elvis fan, and she is like fully on deck for it. So I think that's the audience that they're looking after for this movie, not us.
It was interesting how they didn't have an Elvis song in the trailer at the end. It was, what's it called? The song from Ghost. I don't know the song off the top of my head. That was a weird move. But anyways, it doesn't really matter. I thought this trailer was okay. Again, long trailer, 3 minutes. I actually didn't finish the trailer. I finished like 20 seconds before it ended. I was like, I don't. This movie's giving away everything about the movie. I think I've gotten all I need to know, so I don't really need to see the rest of it. Austin Butler looks great. I see Oscar buzz for him. Even if he doesn't get in like a Taron Egerton type.
Too early. So early though.
Same with Taron though. And again, he didn't get in, but there was a lot of buzz, and he got what? He got the Globe.
Got a Globe.
Yeah, I think, and then I think the Globes will be back next year. Like to a live show. So I think that's probably a big play for them there.
And he looks great in the role. Tom Hanks, on the other hand, I don't know. Again, he's Tom Hanks. Tom Hanks. I don't say that a lot, about his roles. I don't say Tom Hanks, but yeah, I don't. What kind of accent was he doing? Do you guys?
I don't know. Who is the guy?
I actually
Colonel Parker. From? He's plays Elvis's manager, and there's a lot of I mean, I don't know. I know a little bit about Elvis, but there's a lot of like articles that have been written that he's the one that kind of caused his downfall, type of thing. So that's why he said that comment about being the villain of the story or whatever.
It was I didn't care about the dialogue because I couldn't understand where he was from. I couldn't tell you, it was a Southern accent. Was it more like Eastern European?
I think it's Southern, but I will say this is the movie that gave Tom Hanks COVID, so I hope he's good in this.
Yeah, it was a bit of, he's done a Southern drawl before in several other projects, but this one was really off-putting for me. But it looks interesting. Baz Luhrmann, I'm actually a fan. I like Moulin Rouge. I really like The Great Gatsby. I feel like that movie is hated on way too much.
Old spot.
Yeah, but anyway, judging by Dave's face, he's obviously a big Great Gatsby fan.
The biggest.
All right, so those are going to be your thoughts on the Elvis trailer as we move on now to the second main topic. Ryan Reynolds has said he is not going to be in Doctor Strange: The Multiverse of Madness. This should be really in buy or sell, but we're going to talk about it as the main story. Guys, are we going to believe Ryan Reynolds when he says this?
I'm going to say he had a good conversation with Andrew Garfield on how to lie to the media, and that's pretty much where I'll leave it, because there's no way he's not in it.
Yeah, I think this is very much passing of the torch, but now it's going to be even more, because anyone who has been in a Marvel movie ever will be getting asked this question. So,
I hope, and I've said this in joking fashion when the multiverse first opened, you guys are a little young, so you probably have never seen this, but if you guys have a chance to look up the Italian Red Skull from the 1990 Captain America movie and the original 1994 Fantastic Four, I need these in this movie. I need every iteration of these characters in this movie. Yep. So yeah, Deadpool's gonna be in it. No ifs, ands, or buts, I think.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like Luke does, every Marvel character ever, and my expectations are really high for the amount of cameos we're going to get in this movie. But again, we're going to talk about that soon enough. So, but again, it looks like we're not going to buy this. Ryan Reynolds, good try. I feel like if he said I'm going to be in the movie, I would be less optimistic about him being in the movie. Mm-hmm. Because it's Ryan Reynolds. He could be like joking around or something. But him saying that, I don't know. But anyways, we're gonna stall the Multiverse of Madness talk just for a bit as we get to the news about the Oscars selecting their 3 hosts. Luke, I'm going to go to you first as more of a casual viewer of the Oscars. How do you feel?
I've watched them every year.
Yeah.
Actually, last year I didn't watch them because I was really tired. But my cinema does this thing for the people who buy a lot of tickets. They actually invite them to watch the Oscars on the biggest screen.
Wow.
And then I have to go to school and I haven't slept. I'm like, oh. Hey, but Paris, I won Best Picture. Yeah. But
what time are the Oscars
where you like
5:30?
It would start at like 3 a.m. probably.
Oh my God.
And they show a movie before that, and it's like the most boring thing for the year. The year it was what was the first year I went? Green Book. When Green Book won, they showed Greta with Chloe
Oh
Grace
my
Moretz,
God.
which was the
Why?
worst movie of all
Wait,
time.
why would they show a movie? Is it
I
like
don't know, because to pass the time, because like
they
public
chose that
transport
movie?
stops going at like 11, and then we were there at 12, so they put on the movie, and that was terrible. And then they showed Queen and Slim the next year, which I was like, come on,
Not a
could have
fan.
just shown like Avengers or something. But
That actually would have been
Like-
perfect. You have a
No,
3-hour
especially
movie.
3 a.m. Yeah,
like,
but
why not?
anyways,
And then
yeah.
So this roster to me looks like, they asked a lot of people and they finally found someone who said yes. Like they asked Tom Holland, they asked Selena Gomez and them, but no one was
the Multiverse
available.
crew.
Yeah, and then we got this. Wanda Sykes, she's in Evan Almighty. That's a movie I enjoy. Amy Schumer, the less about her, the better. And I'm not sure who the third one is.
That's actually that's a great summary of I feel like what everyone is feeling about the Oscar host selection this year. Dave, what are you feeling?
So if you place those 3 on your bingo card, you won. But that means no one won. It's because this is I don't even know where to start. I don't hate Amy Schumer like everyone else does. I think she's fun in Trainwreck. I haven't cared about her since. So I guess that's where I'm at there. Regina Hall is very talented. She has Girls Trip, and I guess Girls Trip 2 is coming out. So I guess this is a way to push the news of that movie coming out. But Luke kind of nailed it. If the host should be able to draw in casual viewers,
Yep.
and this is not doing that at all.
If any, it'll lose viewers. People are not going to watch the Oscars because of the hosts. You're right. Like when people see, I don't know, Billy Crystal or they see Jimmy Kimmel, it's like, oh, I recognize that person. I see them a lot. They have experience talking with celebrities and being in a lot of movies. But in this case, yeah, I agree.
And mind
Yeah.
you, I think they asked John Hamm and he dropped out, and one of the women that was asked replaced him. So he dropped out last week before they even announced it. So right
So who do
before
you think was the replacement?
I think it was probably Wanda Sykes.
Give him
But
3 chance.
yeah, but what I've been hearing is that it's going to be split up a host an hour. So it's not,
That's
yeah. So I have no idea how that's gonna work.
For an hour. Damn it.
Like I personally don't even like it. It's a good conversation to have now. But if for anyone that's been watching the Oscars, they for the most part they really don't matter outside the first 15 minutes. So
Yeah.
I've been perfectly fine without a host the last couple of years.
That's
But yeah. This is just not good.
No, it's not. And yeah, I feel like for all the anticipation, as people who are trying to who are in the sphere, trying to guess who the hosts were going to be, we're thinking Only Murders Crew, the Spider-Man. It's like so many great possibilities, and especially because the Oscars is losing viewers, and you want to get hosts who draw in people, like you said, Dave. This doesn't do it, and it's very regressive in that sense because I don't feel like more people are going to get into the Oscars because these 3 are hosting it. Amy Schumer, not a fan of her comedy special, like most people. But I actually haven't seen Trainwreck, and I haven't seen her in any movie. I can't think of a movie I've seen her in.
John Cena is the first time I saw him do comedy in that movie.
If you add her as the host, like right after Trainwreck releases, that makes perfect sense.
Mm-hmm.
She hasn't been relevant in years, so I don't understand why 2022 is like this is definitely a lineup where maybe 5-10 years ago, maybe this would have worked, but not right now. Regina Hall, Girls Trip is the only I can't think of, again. Maybe
She was in. I think she was in Scary Movies, I believe, too.
Oh yeah, really?
Yeah.
That's all you got for me?
That's all I got for you.
Scary Movies, man.
I have seen her in a few things, but I'm not really,
Wanda
not
Sykes,
too big on her work.
Does she have like a talk show on like Peacock or something?
I mean, Wanda Sykes is a legend, but
yeah,
I mean, is she
maybe
also?
That's just me.
Yeah.
Again, like I haven't like as someone who's speaking for a lot of people of my generation, I haven't seen Wanda Sykes in any. I haven't seen Bruce Almighty, so I apologize, Luke.
Evan Almighty.
Well, Evan Almighty. I'm sorry.
Is that the good one? Is that the no? That's the Steve Carell. That's the bad one.
That was not as good. That was not as good. I admit.
So yeah, this does not make me excited. But again, like Dave, I feel like people over exaggerate how important the hosts are. They aren't really, like you said, in the first 15 minutes. it's more presenting the presenters of the awards for the rest of the show.
I
It's
think
not
the
really
conversations we've been having the last week about it are going to be longer than their screen time.
Yeah, you're right. But anyways, let's not make them feel bad. Let's go on to our next big topic as we talk about. This is kind of a week late, but last show we did was on the Super Bowl Sunday, so it is a week after it's released. But Doctor Strange: Multiverse of Madness, the first full trailer dropped over kind of the Super Bowl. They showed like some of the trailer in the Super Bowl, and the full trailer was online. Luke, what did you think of the trailer?
Well, I was getting ready to watch my annual one game of American football that I do. And I'm like, whoa, Mr. Doctor, 30-second trailer. I'm like, whoa, trailer out now. I'm like, oh, they probably mean the old one. And I check and I'm like, whoa, there's a whole new trailer. And I watched it. I'm like, whoa, I'm excited for Marvel again. I mean, I was for the last thing they did, but they just do so much, and some of it's mediocre. So it's a nice reminder that we can still get you excited.
Sure.
And then I was excited about that, and I fell asleep in the third quarter because I was really tired.
You missed a great game.
Yeah.
Did I though?
Dave, what are your thoughts?
I love Marvel trailers because they give so much and tell us so little. They pretty much have hyped this movie up to be another Spider-Man, another Avengers Endgame with the possibilities of cameos that they had. They did give us a little bit with Professor X. But yeah, I mean, the title always spoke to the possibilities of what this can be. Also, shout out to, I can't remember the Instagram account, forgive me, but they did a comparison, a shot by shot from this trailer to Spider-Man 2. And a lot of the Sam Raimi-isms are like sprinkled all over this trailer.
The zooms.
Yeah, I can't wait. I love Sam Raimi as a director. Shout out to his very, very underrated Darkman.
Oh, never mind.
Darkman is so great. If you guys haven't seen it, is a
I need to see it on my list.
Yeah. So Danny Elfman did the score for that. Like a 2-second background is he wanted to do Batman. They gave it to Tim Burton, so he decided to create his own superhero.
Wow.
It's really fun stuff. Don't watch the sequels unless you have time. They're all terrible. But the original one has Frances McDormand as the leading lady, which is like awesome. Yeah. But yeah, the Doctor Strange looks great. Can't wait.
Yeah, I agree. Obviously, the Professor X stuff, people are going to be talking about that. The Illuminati stuff, that's also very interesting. Who do you guys feel are going to be the rest of the members of the Illuminati? Who's your guess?
I've seen a leak, so I won't say if that leak is true. But if that is what it is, then
I have not seen any leaks, but I have no idea. What do you have?
You feel it's going to be Tom Cruise or no? As Iron Man.
I don't think he's been Illuminati.
Unfortunately, the Tom Cruise thing has been spoken about by even our own personal group chats, which I've hated because I'm like, all right, I had heard about it, but I kind of forgot about it. But everyone keeps mentioning it after the trailer. So yeah, I think that's probably going to happen.
Yeah, what are your other guesses for possible cameos? What are some of the wildest ones you think are going to happen?
Nick Cage as the Ghost Rider.
Oh my
God,
that'd be great. That would be great. Oh.
I think Chris Evans as a Human Torch.
Human Torch. Yeah,
I think that's he loves doing cameos lately.
Oh yeah,
you feel like he's going to be in the movie?
No, I hope not. Unless he's really going to be that. I don't want to do that. I think Jessica Alba.
Why would they bring in Jessica? Oh, would they bring in the entire cast?
That original, I would. I mean, if we're bringing back Chris Evans, you might as well bring her back.
Might as well bring back Cloud Galactus as well. It'll just be like smaller.
No. I'm actually staring at my old Marvel. Can you imagine they bring in Howard the Duck, the one that Luke saw? Like that would be just be like amazing. Dolph Lundgren not doing anything. Can we bring his Punisher back?
I did not know he was the Punisher.
It's such a guilty pleasure. It's not.
Wasn't John Travolta in the Punisher?
Yeah. Oh, that was the Thomas Jane one. So that one doesn't have as much of a guilty pleasure watch. Ben Affleck.
Wasn't there something like that he might? I could see it, but
you think?
If they decided to show Professor X, like even his back of his head blurred, like there's gonna be a lot. If they're showing that,
no, that's a great point, Luke.
I will say, out of every single cameo that we may get, the one that would break everyone's mind, because that means it's probably going to be the casting, is if Hugh Jackman comes back.
I feel like he could, because like
he could. I feel, And of course, we're getting Deadpool, obviously.
Obviously.
I think
He's
and
the
Luke
one guy
Luke made
you'd
a great
expect.
point in that they show Professor X as in a trailer, as if like that's really if it's in the trailer, that has to be pretty minuscule and compared to some of the other cameos they have planned. So I think that's a great point. We could be getting a lot. Professor X is pretty big for a lot of Marvel movies. That would be the biggest cameo that you'd get. But the fact that that's a small one is shown in the trailer, we could be getting a lot of better ones. So yeah, those are going to be our thoughts on the Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness trailer.
And I'm convinced that they're making Wanda the
Oh,
villain.
she's the villain. I think she's the
She's
villain
the
of the
villain?
movie as well. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, I also
We have a lot of different varying villains. I've heard the Illuminati is going to be a villain. for
not
this movie.
sure if this is accurate. I read an article, I think Hollywood Reporter, Variety Report, at the movie's close to 3 hours.
I
Of course it
believe
is. That's not news. Every movie.
Yeah.
I just
They
assume
heard-
every movie is close to.
They heard the
3 hours.
Batman is 3 hours. They're like, you know what? We got to
Batman
Stick it all in.
and it's all
Have a
yeah.
montage of cameos.
seriously.
All right, but those are going to be our thoughts again as we move on now to buy or sell, in which we're going to talk about some of the smaller news topics that occurred over the last week in the world of movies. We're going to talk about if you would buy those topics or sell those topics. So the first topic we're going to talk about, as The Last of Us has been delayed until 2023, the series will premiere on HBO Max and star Pedro Pascal and the girl from Game of Thrones. I cannot remember her name. Luke, your thoughts?
I haven't played the game, so I guess so I'm not that excited for it. I'm gonna sell it. Take the time you need. I'll watch it definitely. Pedro Pascal can do no wrong, so I'm gonna sell it for now.
Especially in the new Nick Cage movie.
Oh my god, I get to see that in like 2 weeks. I am so excited to see
Dude,
that
I saw
movie.
the trailer again before I saw Uncharted. Dude,
so
when he does
fun.
this and he says Nick Cage, I'm like, I'm dead every time. Nick Cage. But Dave, your thoughts?
So yeah, I sell the fact that we have to wait to 2023. I think this is the best. Like, it's not my favorite game of all time, but I think it's easily the best game I've ever played. It is. It is such an emotional roller coaster. I'm not going to spoil it, obviously, but there is a scene in the game within the first 10 minutes where the game completely changes the direction it goes, and I've never had a video game tear me up, but that's the first time a video game has teared me up. That if this is done right, this will probably be the first and probably best video game adaptation ever made. It is. Yeah, I have very high expectations.
I've heard great things about it. I just haven't played the game. So
listen, like, I played the second one and I took like 10 cold showers with how depressed I was after playing the second one, of how much of a downer that game is.
So tell me, because obviously I feel like we've gotten kind of oversaturated with zombie movies and TV shows. What do you think makes The Last of Us stand? Like, just sell me it. Because I haven't played. Why should I play the game?
Because it's not The Walking Dead. Is that good enough?
Good.
No. All jokes aside, I think the concept of, yes, the zombies are there, but it's not just zombies. If we're looking at that element, there are different creatures that torment every piece of the town, that not even the town, the entire United States. But it's not a story about that. It's really a story about Ellie and her growth and what she lost when she meets Joel and the bond they form. It's pretty much a relationship. It's not her father, but is a father-daughter story. And I think if they emphasize the drama within that rather than just the zombie, the zombie apocalypse, I think this definitely will hit the emotional levels people are looking for. That's why I say, like, I used to watch The Walking Dead and I know what it's based off, but I think after Frank Darabont left the show, that show completely fell off the tracks for me, and I think it's unwatchable. I can't believe it lasted this long. It's very bad. I think it's a very bad show.
I watched a couple episodes when Negan was a part of it when he first joined, and I stopped.
It's so bad. Like, I know people that are big fans, and much respect for you, but like, I just think it's terrible. But yeah, The Last of Us, I think, has the ability to have two central characters, which The Walking Dead never really did, because it felt more like an ensemble with Rick and everyone else. This feels like it's a two-person story that builds throughout 2 games, and I can't wait. So I sell the move, I buy the show.
I'm gonna buy as well, just from what you've told me and what I've heard about the game. This could be definitely the best video game adaptation that we've gotten. It's not a movie, but still TV show. So I'm very excited for it. So let's move on now to our next piece of news. And again, credit. This is from the John Campea show because again I couldn't find it on the internet. So credit to him. Check out his channel, my favorite, YouTube channel on YouTube. So check it out. But this is from him as we got leaked set photos from the Batman, or not from Batgirl, of Michael Keaton's Batman. Dave, as Michael Keaton is your favorite Batman, what can you tell us about your thoughts on these set photos?
So my guess is this reminds me of the first shots we got of our patch suits a couple of years ago. That it felt more like a stuntman suit than Keaton. I think the far left is more. I think that's Keaton, right? On the far left of that picture. It reminds me a lot of the Batman Return suit, but it doesn't look good in the context of the photos. So I'm guessing when we get the final product, it's gonna look a little better. Shout out to the Rogaine that Commissioner Gordon is using because he has a lot more hair than the last the last time we saw him. So all jokes aside, it's Michael fucking Keaton. That's all I need. Just give me Michael Keaton all day, every day. I'm all in.
Buy it. I'm gonna buy it as well. I actually think the suit looks really good. I think it
you
looks
think so?
Really cool. I do.
It looks so. It really does look like a stuntman suit than the actual suit he's wearing.
How does it look different than the '89 one?
Oh, okay, yeah, all right. So if you just keep the photo up, keep the photo up.
Okay.
So if you look at the first thing you want to see is that under the bat emblem looks fine, but the chest plate and
isn't it bigger?
The chest plate is bigger. The rib cage. If this is a direct, because the logo looks like it's the Batman '89 logo, not the Batman Returns logo, because they alternate between the two movies. The rib cage is actually, you see abs, like ripped abs placed on the suit. So that's a big difference from the suit. So it's all, I'm telling you, man, '89 is my shit. So I know very much a lot about the suit. So I'm excited. The cowl looks great. I will say the cowl looks exactly the same as it did in '89 and '92. The rest of the suit, I mean, obviously I'm buying Keaton, but I kind of want to see him more in a trailer and in action.
No yellow utility belt. Which
that's a big Yep. Good call.
Thank you so much.
Good call.
I'm so glad I could add value to this discussion of analyzing Michael Keaton's suit. Luke, your thoughts? Buy or sell?
I'm not the biggest Keaton guy, and I enjoy him as the role, but he's not my favorite. I'm gonna sell it mostly because it's mostly the movie because it's going on HBO Max. And
no, that's not. It's not. No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
That's not.
No, Flash and.
Oh, this is Flash.
That's the Flash, I believe.
I think it's Batgirl.
It's from Batgirl.
Yeah.
Oh, then that changed. Oh, okay. Never mind. Wait a minute. That doesn't mean. Which is so Batgirl's 2023 then, right?
I think
because I can't imagine that comes
I think it's
out
2022.
Then it can't be. Then it can't be because.
Oh, wait, 2020.
Nah, I think it's
I forgot what year it was. It is.
Yeah, it has to be because
I thought it was 2021.
Okay, then I will probably. I'm not as optimistic as of now for that movie, but yeah, let's. Yeah.
I'm just gonna sell.
I honestly had to go to my calendar app and check what year it was. I don't know what is wrong with me. I don't know. I was like, I thought we were whatever. But does that change your stance? Are you gonna sell this now?
No. I mean, it's Keaton. He could be taking a shit for all I care, and I'm still gonna watch him.
Luke?
No, I'm gonna sell it mostly because it's the movie that's going on HBO Max. It's like,
what about the picture itself? Does this
the picture
make you
itself
more or less excited?
It makes me content.
So you're not gonna buy it. You're gonna
I'm gonna go to the.
He's gonna put
store.
it on layaway.
I don't know what that means, but yes.
You're gonna put it on the side, like hide it behind a bunch of other shit, and then come back and maybe buy it later.
Yeah, I might come back.
If it's sold out by that point, we'll be the one.
Well, too bad. I
think the real winners are bald men after seeing J.K. Simmons' hair growth.
Agnolo, I hope you're watching.
He is
you could be this.
I don't know, his haircut. I can't think of an equivalent like Tanner Buchanan in Cobra Kai. He has that kind of haircut where it's I can't describe. I don't know how to describe it, but it's like that type of haircut. Whatever. But I'm gonna buy it. Looks cool. Makes me more excited, even though I'm not excited for the movie. As we move on now to Stranger Things 4, which it was announced that it got a poster, as well as the 4th season will be split up in 2 volumes. The 5th season, which will be separate, will be the last season of the show. But Are you guys gonna buy or sell?
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah, I love this show. I'm one of. I love the first season. I think the first season is the best. The second season drops in quality. I do like the third season a lot. Unfortunately, they've taken really long to come out. It's COVID. You can't really control the circumstances that we're living in right now. But I'm glad they know they're getting way too old. So they're definitely going to have to time jump a little bit here. So I'm glad they're ending it in season 5. But I'm very excited. Definitely bye.
Luke?
Yeah, big buy. I've enjoyed the series say from the beginning. I'm probably gonna rewatch it because it's been so long. Now we can see why it's been so long because they pretty much made 2 seasons, and it looks like it's gonna be bigger. Good job, Netflix. If you realize what your Game of Thrones is, so you gave it the
Don't
right
mess it
budget
up. You know what not to do.
because this is their biggest show, like by some mile, I think.
They've had shows, but I think they exploded with their series once, because House of Cards was something, but Stranger Things, I remember when that show came out.
No, especially it appeals to everyone, not just awards. It's not just an awards contender, but to casuals. It appeals to everyone. I'm gonna.
Don't do it.
Oh,
Don't do it.
I'm on the edge. Again, I will buy this because I think I'm forgetting how good the show was, because again, I thought it has dipped in quality, but still the quality is still great. I mean, you're dropping from because the first season was amazing. So even if you're dropping from quality from that, it's still a great show. Just not as amazing as it once was. I'm still very cautiously optimistic, because it seems like with the Upside Down, they've explored so many different avenues, and I just don't know what else they can do, what other new stuff they can do. But I'll still buy. The fact that they're splitting it up into 2 makes me think there's something really big coming in this season.
Yeah, I
which is
saw a lot
interesting.
of complaints about that. I'm like, bro, they're splitting it up by 4 weeks. It's not really that serious. You get a Memorial Day and you get July 4th. I mean, it's perfectly fine what they're doing.
So, and then because again, Netflix has talked about this, about making their episodes release week by week. And this is something that I particularly think would be great with Stranger Things, because this is a show everyone watches, everyone talks about. And so splitting it up into watching one episode per week, I think is much better. And I think it makes the conversation go on longer, because again, this is the reason, not just that it's a 3-year wait between when I watched last season compared to now, but it's also because I watched the entire season in like a day. So it's like I do not remember anything about not just last season, but the previous season.
Yeah, I have to rewatch it.
Because it's like you all release them at the same time. I watched them in one day. So it makes me forget about everything a lot more. So hopefully they do that with this series. At least I know a lot of people who watch TV series and they love watching it all in one day. I'm not that type of person. So that's just me. As we move
they
on
need
now.
to learn. They need to learn.
Are you guys
Look at HBO.
If they would have started with a week by week, I would have been on board. But the fact that they have, with this show specifically, they have trained the audience to do this at once. I suspect it's going to be all at once, especially since we get a new series, the next part of the season 4 weeks later. That kind of just plays their hands.
Sure. Yeah, I agree. As we move on now to the next topic, as Star Trek 4 has been announced with the original cast from the J.J. Abrams versions returning. It has not been clear as to if J.J. Abrams will return to the director's chair. However, the original cast will return. Dave, buy or sell?
I'll buy. I'm not too big on the Star Trek franchise, but yeah, why not?
Luke?
Yeah, I'm gonna buy. I remember enjoying the first 2. I never got to Beyond, but I think it was a fun movie. Sci-fi is always fun, and yeah, buy.
I'm gonna sell, because I haven't seen. Don't kill me. I've not seen the J.J. Abrams Star Trek movies. I've seen Star Trek: The Motion Picture in '79. I've also seen Star Trek Discovery, the first season, which is weird because I'm not a Star Trek fan, but I've seen those, but I've not seen the J.J. Abrams ones. Should I? Are they any good?
Yeah, I think so. I think I like him.
The
He
Blu-ray.
didn't direct. He didn't direct the third one. But yeah,
You can't finish it.
I enjoy
just
them.
like Skywalker. He's good at that.
Yeah, but I don't really care. And I don't think modern audiences don't really care about Star Trek. So I think it's a dying franchise. Unfortunately, I'm not a fan, but I wish people from your age, Dave, back in the Stone Age, could get some more great Star Trek. But unfortunately, I don't think modern audiences are as into it.
It's actually very popular. You'd be surprised.
Really?
Yeah, they have
Like,
film wise, no, but they have so many Star Trek series. They just
yeah,
launched.
I know. I've watched Generation or
Y-
Generation.
No, like
Discovery.
new ones, like Discovery, and they just launched an animated series. Like the
Oh.
franchise is still.
I'm not gonna lie. I haven't met anyone my age who watches Star Trek.
Yeah, I'm not a big Star Trek fan. I watched the J.J. Abrams movie, and I'm guilty of never seeing the original films. And I did watch Generations when I was younger, but not the whole series. That's as far as I go with Star Trek.
Okay.
I'm more of a Wars guy.
Awesome. I don't know what that means.
Star
As
Wars.
We move on now to a late topic. Atlanta season, I don't remember because I don't watch the show, has been announced. Dave, you watch Atlanta, correct?
Love Atlanta.
What are your thoughts on it?
I don't remember anything. It's been 4 years, so I have no idea.
Really?
I think it's been. Hold on.
Why has it been that long?
I'm gonna look this up right now. Actually, while I'm looking it up, I know Donald Glover did an interview saying that he was ready to just end the show after 2 seasons, so he was fine ending it. The second season was in. Yes, I am right. It was 4 years ago. I don't know why it took so long, and I don't remember. I'm going to rewatch the series before it gets started. But have you seen the cast?
Well, I know it's.
I mean, it's Donald Glover, Brian,
Tyree
Lakeith, and Zazie. Like, it's a stacked cast. It's
Yeah.
very engaging series. I'm not surprised that it's over soon. I mean, they took so long to come back, and by the time now they come back, I mean, Brian Tyree Henry, Lakeith Stanfield, Zazie, and Donald Glover are all big movie stars. So
they said that there's going to be season 4 as well.
yes. So pretty much that's going to wrap it up.
This is season 3 though. That's releasing right now, right?
Yeah, and essentially it's about the Atlanta rap scene.
Okay.
That's pretty much what the series is about. It's good stuff though. It's really entertaining.
Yeah, no, it's intriguing. I just haven't gotten the chance yet. I'll buy because I want other people to be happy about it, even though I haven't seen it. Luke.
Yeah.
I'm gonna buy for the people.
Yeah, Luke always.
Robin
That's
Hood.
why you won the zombie apocalypse episode.
Exactly. I'm still ready for part 2 to defend my crown. Give me another scenario.
As we move on now, we're going to end the show with a great piece of news. As it has been announced that there will be a Sonic 3 as well as a TV series centering on Idris Elba's Knuckles. Are we going to buy ourselves?
I'm gonna buy the movie.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put the series aside. Like maybe come back for it when I'm hungry again.
I'm gonna buy Sonic 2 because if they greenlit Sonic 3 and a TV show, Sonic 2 must be fun.
Yeah.
I like the first one. I can't even lie.
This could be a great trilogy. This could be, Star
this could be
Wars,
Lord of the Rings, man.
Lord of the Rings, The Godfather, Sonic.
I the only reason I'm buying the show is because Idris Elba is actually going to do the voice for the whole series. So
Weird.
Let's just do it. Screw it. But yeah, why not? Something for kids and me. So I'm good.
Luke is the man of the people. You're going to buy this, you said?
I'm gonna buy the movie. The series, I'm gonna, I might write it down, put it on the list for
I already
another
have
time.
another TV series to watch. I don't need another one. This doesn't seem like an essential. But the movie, Sonic 3, I'm very curious to see what Sonic 2. I have very high expectations now. Or not very high. I have higher expectations than I did of the first one. Because if it's a third one is greenlit, and the second one must be something special compared to other video game movie adaptations, at least. As we end the show now, we had a lot to talk about today. Thank you all for being here. But before we end it, Dave, where can everyone find you?
Yeah, so you guys can follow me at Real Talk Inc. You can also check out my podcast, Real Chronicles. And you'll be catching movie reviews. I'll be having my review of the Batman. Quick plug on Sunday or Monday of next week. So you'll be ready to catch that review there.
Awesome. And then, Dave, you actually made the history. You're the first reoccurring or not like non-host like me and Guy to be on a show 2 weeks in a row.
Oh, look at that! I feel quite honored.
You should be honored. It is an honor.
Now I need to get a piano like yours in my background, and I'll be very happy.
Yes. Again, home improvement, guys. Again, if you need to get your homes furnished,
Alice, can you show me how you play on the piano?
You know,
You go over there, just hit a few notes.
yeah, I forgot. You know, I just can't move. I'm so comfortable right now.
Oh no! How unfortunate.
Luke, where can everyone find you?
You can find me at the wasteland of an account that is Luk_Reviews. Sometimes something pops up there. You can ask me about my atrocious film opinions that I sometimes am known to have. That pizza thing. I found a few followers.
No,
some
I
le-
know some people that don't
some
like
league
that
members
movie.
as well.
You're not alone.
Yeah, you're not
I'm
alone there.
Well, you don't just review movies though.
No, I don't. I review the occasional book. Right now, I'm reading Rendezvous with Rama, something Villeneuve will be making into a movie, and I think it's perfect for him.
Very, very.
What I've read so far, it's very exciting to see how he'd do that.
Very bourgeois of you, Luke.
I don't know what that means, but very good.
No, Luk Reviews doesn't say Luk Reviews movies. It is Luk Reviews. So you could be reviewing, I don't know, pizza for all we know.
Exactly. I might just
Licorice pizza.
I might just put some licorice pizza.
That is so
I really don't like licorice too, so that would not be.
I'm a fan of Twizzlers. I'm a fan of Twizzlers. They're a top 3 movie snack for me.
I don't know what that is.
You don't know what Twizzlers are?
No, we don't have that here. We're not
You don't
that,
have that?
We're not that far along, Alex.
I thought Twizzlers was an essential. Twizzlers, Milk Duds. You don't know what those are. Actually, no. Milk Duds get stuck in my teeth. You got. I don't know what we're still alive.
Maybe we have those. They're just called.
We're not filtered. We can talk about movie snacks if we want to. What are your favorite movie snacks, Dave?
I only eat popcorn.
You only eat popcorn.
I don't eat. Honestly, I do not mess with Twizzlers or any of that. Like I think there are a few people that I know that put Raisinets in their popcorn, and I think they just hate everybody for doing that.
Dude, yeah, no, I put cookie dough bites in my popcorn, but the problem is I couldn't find the cookie dough bites, so I was just like searching for them. We talked about this before. I was just like, come on, where are them? Where are they? I could like digging. I was putting my hand in the box.
That is disgusting.
I sometimes get nerds,
and then they get warm because they're in the popcorn and they start to melt, and so you pick up the chocolate and it's like you get the chocolate on your hand and everything.
You think, what is this guy doing?
Yeah, I think nowadays AMC is above just those Raisinets thing with all their menus that they have. Have you seen AMC's menu?
Yeah, no, they practically have like Wolfgang Puck.
Seriously, yeah, it's pretty crazy.
No, I got like I got chicken fingers one time, but they were I saw them get it out of the freezer and then put it in the oven. I'm like, oh,
that's about what you're gonna get.
No, it's just like seeing it is different than like not seeing it, because not seeing it, I can at least think, okay, it is as gourmet as it gets.
Yeah, there's you never want Wolfgang Puck to open a theater. I've seen there's he has a restaurant open in many, but I pass by the one in New York every time I go home from a screening, and those prices are not to be believed. I think it's about $120 for a steak.
For a steak? Oh,
yeah.
I've never been to a Michelin star restaurant, so I kind of want to go now. But anyways, we kind of went off the rails there to end the episode. But again, it's unfiltered. We're not filtered, folks. That is what the show is for. But again, like the video. Thank you all for watching. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Follow these 2 wonderful gentlemen on their respective accounts. Follow us on Instagram. And follow the League of Cinephiles Critic Circle, which just launched yesterday. Thank you for watching, everyone. And, of course, as always, ciao.